Seen one.
There's one of them with the county, but I think it's
I thought it was somewhere. Their big tall car with the
Yes, ma'am. They have those.
That's how they make it. And the women would go pick the balls up and bring them back to work.
The women were, that was really one of the main contributions to the war effort on both sides by women. The women would work in arsenals and make these paper cartridges like this. And they would be required to put out a certain number of days, like 200 or 300. So the soldiers didn't sit around camp making their own ammunition. It was made at home in arsenals by ladies, and then it was shipped to ammunition. Yes, ma'am. My uniform is hand woven by some ladies down in Georgia. Now, a lot of the uniforms for the Confederacy were homemade. A soldier would get his mom to make his uniform, and then he would wear that instead of a government issued uniform. That was real common. That was real common for the Confederacy.
Which way was that now, please?
You folks have any questions? It just blockaded the southern coastline. And the gray dyes, you always hear about the blue and the gray on TV. Now what had happened, a lot of that gray dye was imported from England. And when the North blockaded the southern coastline there, they couldn't get that gray dye in as large numbers as they had before the war. And so with this shortage of gray dyes, the southern people, especially the ones that lived in the interior, like in, say, Mississippi or deep Georgia or deep Alabama, couldn't get gray dyes, and so they'd have to rely on natural dyes or something that would produce a natural color. And this was most often, the dye was most often got from crushed walnut hulls. And to produce this color, it's kind of a dirty brown, like you said, it's called butternut. And the soldiers would eat a lot of that. They would eat a lot of cornbread, a lot of bacon, or this is called salt pork. It's just pork cured with salt as a preservative. Maybe molasses or sugar, not a whole lot. It's real monotonous, the same thing every day. And well, you can imagine if all you eat is grease, because a lot of times what they would do with this is so hard, just feel that. You could bust your teeth on it. Real easy. So what they would do, they would bust this up into like crumbs and soak it in grease or soak it in coffee just to get it soft. So you can imagine if this and bacon were all you ate for a couple of months, you'd have a real good chance of getting sick. And it was this sickness that caused, it was the monotony of the diet, eating the same thing every day that caused a lot of this sickness. And a lot more soldiers died of sickness and disease than they did of getting shot in battle. I think it's three soldiers died for sickness for every one that died in combat. Well, a lot of the soldiers, especially the southern soldiers, couldn't read. They were illiterate. Now, whereas they couldn't read, say, the number 9 or the number 2 or whatever up top, they could sit there and count the number of clubs or spades or whatever and know what their hand was. A little bit of trivia there, stuff with you. So what you see is basically what they carried, and then you have your regulation items, or the stuff you would need to operate your musket here. Your cartridge box, your cap box, and your bayonet. Now the bayonet, despite what Hollywood tries to tell us, was not used very often. In hand-to-hand combat, soldiers preferred to use this like a club, swing it. Less than 1% of the wounds during the Civil War were caused by bayonet. Less than 1%. So you can see right there how little it was used. A lot of the times the Confederate soldiers would just throw it away. But if they did keep it, what they'd use it for is a camp tool, a tent stake, a candlestick holder, stick it in the ground and put a candle in there, or a digging fire pit or something. So used a lot less than people than Hollywood would have us believe. And when it was used, it was mainly a psychological weapon, just to scare the other side. And y'all can imagine a line of about 1,000 men with that pointing at you, and they're charging and screaming real loud. It's just going to scare somebody. of it is during the summer, you're going to sweat onto this cotton, and this cotton is going to get wet, and it's going to work kind of like an air conditioner. If there's any kind of breeze at all, it's going to go through this wool, it's going to hit that wet cotton and keep you cool. You've seen old farmers out in the field with their plows. What are they wearing? They're not wearing, shorts and a short sleeve shirt. They're wearing a big floppy hat like that, a long sleeve shirt and bib overalls. They're dressing to protect themselves from the sun rather than to get a tan or something. And it's only been since World War II that people have started wearing shorts and a short sleeve shirt. As you look at old pictures of guys in Model Ts and stuff, they're not wearing shorts.
This is continue on down here.
It just goes around in a circle, and you come out on the Bullock Road right over here. You can walk back up.